Hello everyone, with me today is Globku and we're here to talk about an amazing adventure which begins in the stars.
I think it actually begins in a planet.
God damn it!
Today's topic, we're gonna talk about our first planet. Welcome to No Man's Stories, the series where we share our stories on No Man's Sky.
So excited, I'm so excited. So, why don't we start with you? How was your first planet?
Okay, my planet was very green, and not lush green, not full of life. It was kind of a yellowish green. It kind of looked disgusting, to be honest.
Really?
And it was irradiated, so I had to deal with radiation right from the start. And you guys, if you have seen No Man's Sky by now, it's kind of a survival game as well. You have to keep your life support systems up there, and in this case I also had to keep my radiation suit up there. So from the start I was afraid of dying. While the game was asking me to fix my ship, I was more worried about, well, I gotta fix my suit first, cause I'm gonna die. It was a planet with a lot of resources, a lot of fauna and flora. I actually went back to the planet after I left for grinding some more resources. So on that aspect it was okay, but it was also full of mountains, and in the beginning, you know, you're not used to the game, and you're not expecting everything to be so far away. So I kept flying and sprinting everywhere because the ship was broken. And flying and sprinting in a mountainous region, let me tell you, it's not easy. You can Skyrim your way up the mountains actually. Like, even if it's very steep, you can just run up there and it's fine. But the radiation always kept me very, very afraid. And if you go back to the ship, the radiation suit fills up. So that was kind of my beacon of hope in case I messed up, because the materials that you need to fill up your radiation suit, those were the same materials that I needed to fix my ship. I needed zinc, and I spent an enormous amount of time looking for zinc, so I really didn't want to spend it on my suit, and so I kept being afraid of dying. A very harsh planet, if I say so myself. Now that I've gone back to it with a ship fixed, it's fine, but in the beginning, man, my adventure did not wait to begin. It was straight up, here's space, motherfucker, it's gonna kill you.
But with all that, how were you feeling when you started playing this game? When when you just look around and
Right.
and saw everything and you hear everything, what did you feel at that moment?
So the planet is ugly, and I felt confused and overwhelmed, is what I felt. You open the menu, there's a bunch of squares, I don't know what any of this means, how do you craft stuff, I don't know, and you kind of start trying stuff out and you figure it out, and it's actually very fine, it's easy. But at the beginning there was just so much. It was really, really overwhelming. There was a sentry drone flying over my ship right from the start, and I was afraid of breaking anything. In fact, I think I was mining some iron, and it decided to start chase me. I'm like, okay, maybe I destroyed too much iron, I don't know. So I had to run away from my life while being concerned about the life support and the radiation and all of this. Man, it was a nightmare. It was a true nightmare. But I'll never forget that. I named that planet Globku's Departure.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that planet. Well, how was your planet?
Oh, my planet. Well, it had kind of the same problem you did, but was not like the air. I just had acid rain.
Huh. How does that work? Is that periodic or is it always raining?
It was always raining acid rain. So there were two ways that I could, get away from that. My ship and the tunnels. If I went to the tunnels, I would be safe, and my, my shield or whatever would be charged again.
Uh-huh.
So while I was walking and trying to get the resources, I would find these small tunnels where I could just go in and stay there for a bit and get some resource too, because there were some resources that I needed inside those caves. It was really overwhelming, all of that. We didn't know what to do, and all the menus and the squares, and it was overwhelming.
And you have limited inventory space, and you don't know what's important or not.
Exactly.
So I started mining iron, and then I start seeing iron everywhere, and I'm like, okay, this is probably not important, but I need iron to craft this stuff.
Yeah.
So should I get rid of it or not? And then you find materials that you can't even use yet. So you really don't know if you should hold on to that stuff or if it's common around the universe. Because sometimes you might have materials that are common in that planet, but you go out to another planet and there's nothing there.
Exactly, but then you discover that can you transfer your stuff to the ship.
Oh, that's so helpful.
Even if you,
yeah.
even if you're even if you're far away from the ship, so that was really useful. And you find out that you can make these small upgrades to your weapon and your your equipment, but then you lose cargo space. Your ship and your backpack or whatever, you lose space. So you have to be careful and choose what you want to do.
Yeah.
You want more cargo space, or you want more? Or you want the upgrades? Some upgrades are useful.
Yeah, I think both your personal suit space and your ship space, even combined, it doesn't take a lot of stuff.
It does not take a lot.
You really
of
have to pick what kind of resources you take. Did you have any wildlife in your planet? Being that it was covered by acid rain, is there wildlife that adapted to that?
I saw just like little bugs or whatever. They were really small creatures, but I saw an aggressive. Sorry. I saw a big one in the cave. So only in caves I saw big ones, and I saw small ones outside, but just really small ones, and they were kind of weird. All the planet was weird. The plants were weird, but you would rarely see some animals life. You would rarely see those. And I remember seeing one that was aggressive, but I didn't get near you.
I didn't have any aggressive ones. I had some pretty big creatures, but they weren't too aggressive. In fact, I fed one of them.
Really?
I gave them food. Yeah, if you have carbon, I guess you can feed these animals. And it started looking for stuff. It started looking for stuff and saying, "Hey, here's stuff."
Oh, that's.
And I was like, "Okay, I'll mine that stuff."
Oh, that's
Thank
awesome.
you, little friend. It was really cool. Yeah, I named him. It was kind of a dog with a pyramid head.
Okay.
So I named him Pyramid Dodge.
I noticed that you can feed them, but I didn't have the opportunity to do so.
Did you learn any new words? Any words from the alien language? Because I learned a bunch in this planet.
Yeah, I think the only thing I didn't do much was learning new words, because I didn't find those those little machines that give you knowledge. I think just found one, unless I didn't know what I was looking for.
Maybe that was the case, because I found a bunch of the smaller ones just living out there in the wild, and I also found a monolith that gave me even more knowledge.
Oh, that's cool.
I love the fact that the first two words that I learned in Gek, which is this alien race, were give, hi. So basically I learned how to ask for drugs. That was the first thing that I learned from an alien language. I love it.
How long did you stay on that planet?
Yeah, I stayed for about an hour 15 minutes, and I've went back to that planet. I've gone back to that planet while trying to craft my hyperdrive, because that's the planet that I found the most resources on. I've explored some other ones that were completely barren, and I was like, I'm just going back to my original planet. Like, there's nothing here
that has more resources. Yeah,
it was very rich.
So guys, this was our first planet, our first adventure in No Man's Sky. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you had such an amazing time as we did.
Share your stories in the comments below. We'll read them, and if you have any topics you want us to discuss in a future episode, leave them in the comments below as well. Thank you for watching, guys.
See you guys next time.